Now is the winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by this son of York, when all the clouds are lured upon our heads, into the bosom of the deep ocean buried. Now our brows bound with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, our stern alarums changed to merry meetings, our frightful marches to delightful measures. Grim visaged war has smoothed his wrinkled front, and now, instead of mounting barbed steeds to fright the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in a lady's chamber, the lascivious pleasings of a lute. But I, that am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking glass, I, that am rudely stamped, yet want love's majesty to strut before a wanton ambling nymph, I, that am curtailed of this fair proportion, cheated of feature by dissembling nature, deformed, unfinished, sent before my time into this breathing world scarce half made up, and so lamely and unfashionable even the dogs bark as I hold by them. Why, I, in this weak, piping time of peace, have no delight to pass away the time, except to spy my shadow in the sun and descant on my own deformity. Therefore, since I cannot prove a lover to entertain these farewell spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain, and hate the idle pleasure of these days. Plots have I laid, inductions, dangerous by drunken prophecy, idols and dreams, to set my brother Clarence against the king in deadly hate, one against the other. And if this King Edward be as true and just as I am subtle, false, and treacherous world, this day should Clarence lay closely mewed up about a prophecy which says that G of Edward's heirs the murderer shall be. Dive thoughts deep into my soul. Here Clarence comes. Now entertain conjecture of a time. The sweeping murmur in the pouring dark fills the wide vessel of the universe. From camp to camp through the foam of night, the hum of either army stilly sounds, but the fixed sentinels almost perceive the secret whispers of each other's watch. Fire answers fire, and through the pallid glaze each battle sees the other's umbered face. Steed threatens steed in high and boastful neighs, piercing the dull night's ear. From the tents, the armourers, accomplishing the knights, with busy hammers closing rivets up, give dreadful need to preparation. Country cocks do crow, the clocks do toll, and the third hour of drowsy morning name. Proud of their number and secure in soul, the confident and over-lusty French to the lowly rated English play at dice, and chide the crippled tardy-edged moon who, like a foul and loathsome witch, doth limp so tediously away. All begotten English, like sacrifices by their watchful fires, sit patiently, and inly ruminate the morning danger. And with their gestures sad, investing lank lean cheeks in war-torn cloaks, presenteth them under a gazing moon so many horrid ghosts. Who will behold the royal captain of this ruined band, walking from watch to watch, from tent to tent, will let him cry, praise and glory on his head, for forth he goes and visits all his host, bids them good morrow with a modest smile, and calls them brothers, friends, and countrymen. Upon his royal face there is no note how dread an army hath enrounded him, nor does he devote one jot of colour to the weary and all-watched night, but freshly looks overbeared a taint, with cheerful semblance and sweet majesty, that every wretch, pining and pale before, beholding him, takes comfort from his looks. Who largest universal like the sun, his liberal eye doth give to every one, thawing cold fear, oh, that mean and gentle awe, beholder may unworthiness defy, a little touch of Harry in the night. So our scene must to the battle fly, where oh for pity and much disgrace, with 4 or 5 most vile and ragged foils, right ill-disposed and broad ridiculous, the name of Agincourt. Yet sit and see, minding true things by which their mockeries shall be.
To be thus is nothing, to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns much that would be feared. 'Tis much he dares, with that dauntless temper of a mind, he has a wisdom that doth guide his valour to act in safety. There is none but he whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked, as it is said Mark Antony's was by Caesar. Each hid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me, and bade them speak to him. Then prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they put a fruitless crown, and a barren sceptre in my grip, thence to be wrenched with unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue I have filed my mind. For them the gracious Duncan I have murdered, put vanquers in the wrestle of my peace only for them, and mine eternal jewel given to the common enemy of man to make them kings, the seed of Banquo kings. Rather than so, come fate under the list, and champion me to the utterance.
He sang a song of wizardry, a piercing oath of treachery, revealing and covering the terrain, when suddenly fell upon their swing, sang an answer a song of staying, resisting, battling against power, of secrets kept, strength like a tar, trust unbroken, freedom, escape, of changing and of shifting shape, of snares eluded, broken traps, the prison opening, the chain that snaps. Backwards and forwards swayed their song, reeling and foundering and ever more strong. The chanting swelled, Felagund fought, and all the magic and might he brought of elfiness into his words. Softly from the gloom they heard the birds, singing afar in a goth wind, the sighing of the sea beyond the western world on sands of pearls in elven land. Then the gloom gathered, darkness growing, in Valinor, the red blood flowing, beside the sea where the Noldor slew, the foam riders and their stealing drew, the white ships and their white sails, in lamplit havens, the wind wails, wolves howl, ravens flee, and the ice mutters in the mouths of the sea. Captive sad in unmarked war, thunder rumbles, fire burns, and Finrod fell before Sauron.